Hi, it's Ken Jacobs, and welcome back to Taking the Lead. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to talk today about some of the questions I've been getting when I've been doing my leadership webinars on how to lead the leaders on your team and how to lead your leaders in training. And one question I got was about the psychology of, well, what's my role now? What's my job? Am I still important if I'm really allowing the leaders under me to step up and take on more? And the answer is, don't worry about that whatsoever. Your role may change. You actually may be a little less involved in the world of PR or communications or marketing or advertising or wherever you practice. But just like Rob Flaherty at Ketchum says, you're still the player coach with the fastball. And the fastball is all about strategy. It's all about growing your organization or division or group. It's all about what comes after, what comes next. So, as you're focused on those things, believe me, you are contributing to your agency or your organization in actually a more important and more profound way. So, don't worry about it. Give it away, give it away. Everyone benefits. The next question: who are some of the leaders that I admire? Uh, well, uh, a few that come to mind. I first started my PR career many years ago at DAY Public Relations. I worked for two true glass ceiling breakers. That's a mouthful. Jean Way Schoonover and Barbara Way Hunter. From that they were sisters. They bought their firm long before I joined them in 1969. And I got to tell you, in those days, for the most part, women did not own public relations agencies. And they both had different leadership styles. And I learned from both of them tremendously. And kudos to Barbara, because at age 62, some 30 plus years ago, she went out and created her own agency. And let me tell you, in those days, people, women, anyone didn't tend to start agencies at age 62. And she made it an enormous success. So she's got a tremendous leadership legacy. Another that comes to mind is Lenore Cooney, who I worked with at Ogilvy, and she ultimately went on to create and found Cooney Waters, a highly respected healthcare communications agency. And we were going through a merger at that point, and it was very difficult for everyone. And there were lines outside her door of people lined up just for her good counsel on how they should perhaps better manage their accounts and build better relationships with clients, and especially to lead their teams. And a lot of us who didn't report to her at the time, got her counsel, and she gave it so generously. And, in those days, I didn't have a direct line to her, I didn't have a dotted line to her, but I got so much good leadership counsel. So she took time away from her day and her accounts and her responsibilities to lead people regardless of her title. I think it was EVP at the time. And eventually, when she got the president title, I mean, she really had earned it. The third question I'd like to share is how to identify the leaders in my organization at every level before they're leaders, even before they're managers. And you see what you look for. I believe very passionately that if our eyes are open, we will see leaders in our organizations early on. Now, that's not about title or role necessarily. I, as you know, like to use the definition of leadership as using your leadership energy, using your leadership influence to get the outcomes that are best, that are desired for our organizations, our teams, our clients, our stakeholders, even our bosses. One person who I saw this in many years ago when I was at Marina Mar Communications is Annie Heckenberger, who is now, I want to get her title right, director at Saatchi, sorry, senior VP creative director, big mistake, at Saatchi and Saatchi Wellness. And I'm sure she's earned that role. But I remember when she was a senior account executive, it was very clear she was not only a future leader, she was really leading. She was leading through her influence, through her sharing of knowledge. She was expert in trends and pop culture. And at that point, she was working in our media department, but she had this knowledge, this research. She shared it and shared it and shared it. And so to me, that was one of my first experiences with seeing people lead, regardless of title and organizational chart. So if you're looking for it, you'll see it on your team. So those are three answers to three questions I've been getting when presenting on how to lead leaders. And I hope they brought you value. Till next time.